Hey guys, welcome back to another Black Flag Ordnance video. Now, before we get started, I know it's been a little bit, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, this is not our full-time job. So unfortunately, we did have some camera issues, everything of that kind of sort. We are thinking about changing up our schedule. So just keep that in mind. Thinking about maybe posting once every 2 weeks rather than every week, just to have more consistent content for you guys. But anyways, let's get back to the video. So today, we're talking about the HK USP 40. Now, of course, these are identical to the HK USP 45 and the 9 for most of it. Now, this thing is classic. I mean, if anybody's ever played like Call of Duty, watched movies, anything like that, you know what this is just by looking at it. I don't even have to explain what it is. It speaks for itself. Now, it is really nice being able to actually get hands-on with this thing. You don't really see a lot of them, but you do in the movies, everything like that. They're very popular, but just personally, I've never really ran into them until recently. So going over the features of this beautiful HK USP 40, as you look, all the controls are standard HK. You have the mag release here rather than a button. You have your nice, easy to reach slide release and your safety slash decocker. So it's all oriented towards the shooter. Now, I will say too that, you know, there are like 10 variations of this thing. So you can have like a 1 through 9 and there's not really much of a difference besides where the safety is, if it has a decocker, single action, double action. So just make sure before you buy one, you know what variant you have, because you could be a right-handed shooter, but the safety's on the right side instead of the left side. So just keep that in mind as you're trying to look for one of these things. But just, yeah, do your research. That's the best I can tell you. We got lucky. So this is Twan's. He was a man and let us use it for this video. And let me tell you what, I've only shot maybe 2 mags out of this thing, and nostalgia just kicks in immediately. Like I said, if you ever play games, movies, whatever, and you see this thing, it's as cool shooting as it does look. So going over a little bit of the history of this thing, H&K mostly developed this for law enforcement and FBI in the United States. Back in 1993, that's when the 40 cal came out. So this thing has been out for a while, and actually when we picked this up and we unboxed it, the original seat from, what was it, like 1993, 94? So from 1994, in the box with this thing, and let me tell you what, inflation has not done this thing good. It's about double the price as it was back then. So, you know, if you're looking at one of these, you're definitely gonna have to pay for it. So moving on from there, I do want to get a general feel from it. Like I said, I've only shot maybe 2 mags out of it. Show you guys kind of like the recoil pattern, everything, and really kind of get a first shooter kind of experience and really kind of talk about it as we shoot it. So let's get to it. All right, so we are going to run a drill real quick with the HK USP 40. We are going to be hitting the dinner plates. Once we hit the dinner plates, we will do a tactical reload and shoot each steel plate twice, just to kind of get more of that target acquisition. I will tell you, I'm probably going to miss these plates. So if I miss the plates, I'm just going to keep on going. So let's get a feel for the target acquisition and go from there. Ready? All right. Tell me when.
You ready?
Yep.
Stand by. Go.
Very, very controllable on the recoil. Target acquisition, like I said, amazing. Now, one thing that is interesting when it comes to the USP is, once again, the government was looking for something that was less recoil than the 45, but more stopping power than the 9. Now, once again, it does have more recoil than the 9. Obviously, it's a 40. So I do have a Glock 17 Classic, which is, if you all want to see a video for this, let me know. And so I'm going to load up a mag of the Glock and try that again. I will tell you, my aim with Glocks, they can either be very good or very bad. So let me load up real quick, and let's do the same thing with the Glock, and I'll kind of go over a little bit of the differences of the recoil. Obviously, 9's going to be a lot easier on recoil, but let's just see how it does target acquisition and everything like that. So, doing the same drill, I do have the Glock 17 Classic, and we are going to do the same thing and really see how well I do. I don't expect much, but we'll give it a shot.
Hayden in fact did not shoot well with the Glock.
Ready when you are.
Ready?
Yep.
Stand by. Go.
Oh my God. That was horrible. So, Glock iron sights aside, obviously recoil a lot better, a lot easier to manage, but the stopping power is really what kind of I think they were looking for. However, nowadays in modern times, a lot of departments do choose the 9mm over the 40. I would say mostly because of, one, you get the magazine capacity. You have 13 compared to 17, or in some cases 18, 19, 20, however far you want to get into it. But you know, the stopping power I think is definitely there. You will get a lot more out of the 40 than you would the 9, obviously. But overall, you know, Glock, HK, anything aside, 9mm is and has been around for a very long time and has proven itself to be one of the more superior rounds. Obviously, though, when you're looking for stopping power and really to take down a target, the 40 is going to obviously leave a bigger hole and stop that target just a little bit faster. But obviously, with the 9, you get more rounds. Overall, though, it is a lot easier shooting that HK than it was the Glock. I've never really been a fan of the Glock U sights. The only exception would be the 19X with the tritium 3 dots. Just something about it. It's hard for me to really line up. I don't know if it's eyesight. Couldn't tell you. So don't mind my shooting with the Glock. I promise I'm a lot. Going on from there, let's try to get a good grouping of the HK on paper and go from there. I am going to shoot steel for the first mag. It does hold 10 rounds. You can get, I believe, 13, and if they have any extended mags, you know, you just kind of go from there. But yeah, so let's load it up. It is 40 Smith & Wesson. I'm going to shoot from double action first, kind of get a feel for the trigger, and really go from there. I will be aiming for the biggest target here, so let's get to it. First impressions, I will say it's not as bad as a 45. That was kind of the whole thing about the gun anyways. They wanted something that wasn't as powerful as the 45, but also bigger than the 9mm when they made this HK USP. So, I mean, it is a very controllable recoil. Even just through 10 rounds, you can see that. You know, where the 45 isn't bad, this is just kind of like a little step below, where you still get a lot of stopping power, but also not as much recoil. So target acquisition, switching targets, that kind of stuff, it's a lot more doable. Not saying it's not doable with the 45, it most certainly is. But overall, it's just a little bit easier to do so than the 45. So from here, I'm going to set up some paper targets and try to get a nice group, see where I'm aiming with the handgun, and go from there. Alrighty, so before I get shooting, I do want to show you guys the iron sights of this thing. So if you take a look down the iron sights, so if you're taking a look down, they are the standard 3-dot iron sights. Now, maybe back in the day, they used to light up at night, but after what, almost 30 years, it's it's kind of seen some better days on the iron sights. So, but standard 3-dot, nothing crazy. By the way, no optics plate on this one. This one is an oldie but goodie. So it's almost like driving an old Cadillac, you know, real smooth when it wants to work. So from here, another 10-round mag. Let's see if I can get a good grouping going. I have no high hopes. We are about, I don't know, about 20 yards away, I'd say. So let's see what we can do for grouping. Go from there. I jumped that one. Did I even hit the target? I'm just kidding. All right, so let's take a good look at the grouping and go from there. I will say that being, can't really see the target too well. I probably went a little over and kind of get used to the gun, but let's go check it out. So, not the best grouping ever, but I did aim a little high here. I did get a okay grouping here. Just kind of getting used to the handgun. I know I flinched. I even flinched down here. That's pretty bad, but you know, the more I practice, obviously, the better I'll get. I will say, though, the recoil is pretty controllable, like I said before, being that it is the 40 Smith & Wesson. But overall, kind of just how the gun reacts and everything, the action's moving, it is very smooth. I was once told by a guy that liked HKs that, you know, it's almost like a German car. It drives like a dream until it's broken. So far, this one ain't broken, so it shoots like a dream. I just got to tighten up my grouping a little bit and, you know, kind of work at it. But as far as the trigger pull, everything, it is very smooth. I can see why a lot of guys like these things. It's very smooth. It's comfortable to shoot. So let's load up a couple more mags and try to get a better grouping in that one. At this point, I will try to aim for the head, kind of save a little bit of the paper targets, and see if I can really tighten that group up and kind of work on my trigger group. All right, so take two. I'm going to try to tighten up that group a little bit more. I will be aiming for the head of the same target and see if I can really kind of feel out this gun a little bit more. So other than that, let's get to it. Swear to God, if I miss that target.
What?
I made a dick. Okay, so I figured out a little bit of what was going on. I noticed that this is more of a lollipop sight almost. Either that or it's just me, but aimed right here and all of them grouped right here. I did have a couple flyers up here, that's where I'm thinking it might be a lollipop group. I might actually try one more group to kind of confirm that. But so far I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9, 10. So I did miss 2 for 20 yards. Okay, fine. I did get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in a pretty nice group there. So yeah, let me try that again. I think I might try to lollipop it. So I'm gonna aim about right here and see if it's more up here or if it's just me shooting. So I am interested in that one. I was only gonna do 2, but now I'm kind of thinking to myself, I wonder if I'm aiming high because of the sight picture. So let me try that real quick. Take 3. Let me try to tighten up that group just a little bit more. Same distance, 20-ish yards. Well, I can see from here that they are definitely not lollipop sights. I think I was just being stupid. Keep in mind, first HK, so different for me. But let's check out that grouping anyways. I'm kind of interested. I can see it from here. All right, so honestly, yeah, still consistent grouping here. From 20 yards, I'm not expecting too much. I know we usually kind of shoot a little farther away in our videos, just to kind of give an idea of how the gun's going to perform at a little bit of a longer range. But so far, yeah, I mean, you know, grouping's consistent here. This is my first time really shooting it on paper, so, you know, I take that for how it will. But, you know, overall the grouping here and the grouping here, they turned out pretty good, I'd say, for the first time really shooting the handgun. The one thing you got to get used to is that mag release. That is so weird to me. You know, I'm always used to a button, and this is the paddle right next to the, right on the trigger guard. But, I mean, it's not a bad thing. I can kind of see the advantage of it because I can hit it from both sides. My thumb hits it quite well, or if I need to, I can use one of my other fingers and get to that mag release. So let's go over a little bit of the usability of this thing. Okay, so usability of the HK. Honestly, I can see this having very many uses. Obviously, this gun is built for pretty much any and all purposes when you're thinking about the design and how everything will come about. You know, today's age, you know, it does fit very well and it's still relevant even today. You know, to be honest, even shooting something like a Glock or even a SIG or a Canic that I have on the table, that's why I'm thinking about it. But, you know, it's still very relevant. I mean, you know, sure, does it not have a Picatinny rail? No, not this one particularly, but I'm pretty sure nowadays you can get one with it. You know, overall the design of it, I mean, it's still such a very classic design firearm, and it just it looks so good even today. You know, usability, being that it has the decocker, it's got the safety. Now, me personally, when it comes to like a carry gun or something, I don't really like a safety, but you know, other people disagree and that's how they want to carry a firearm. Hey, listen, that's up to you. You know, each their own preference. But you have that usability, and it's very nice to be able to have a pistol that can do pretty much the jack of all trades. The usability, the ease of function, I mean, there's not a lot of gadgets or anything. There's nothing crazy when it comes to the actual controls of the firearm. This thing was meant for a purpose, and whatever purpose it might be, it don't care. The USP does it all. You know, it's very down to earth. There's nothing fancy. It just works. And that's something that I truly like about this handgun. It isn't this crazy off the wall new technology. Yes, this was made in the 90s, but it is still relevant to this day. You can still remove the iron sights and put on your own iron sights. They make new ones that do have Picatinny rails, but the overall design of this firearm stays the same. Even in today, they still make these, and you cannot go wrong. A lot of people use this as an end of the world type scenario gun, and I would agree with them. The overall feel of this firearm is great. It has ease of comfort. It's accurate. Even first shots, I did an okay grouping. If I got better at it and used it a lot more, then my grouping would get better. But overall, the actual feeling of this firearm, the trigger, the recoil, it's all predictable. HK, you did a really good job with the USP, and I hope to see the USP stay around for a lot longer. On that note, guys, what are we at?
16 minutes, going on 17.
17, okay. So guys, just to reiterate, I'm really sorry about the posting schedule. It has been a little hard, especially with the holidays. As of right now, Easter just passed, so if you guys are watching this video, happy Easter, happy late Easter. And I hope you guys had a good weekend. Now, like I said, from I think now until either we can sustain more firearms and we can until we can sustain more firearms and sustain more video, we will probably be uploading every 2 weeks. Just to, like I said, stay consistent with you guys. I really appreciate your guys' patience. I know it's not easy on both ends, either waiting for a video or on the flip side, me editing videos and trying to get to the range to film stuff. If there's anything you guys want to see, drop a comment down below. We do have some exciting firearms that we have just purchased besides the USP that are in the works for a video. So other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. I read all of them, and I really appreciate it. Later.